I want freedom. 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 Hello, world. It's me again. It's the Don, the Senator Smooth and Rude, coming to you live from the 75Y. Cause we global, baby. Yeah. This the Mansion in the Sky podcast where we build the lamb while we drive it. We strive to become envious, which is unconquerable and influential in every single aspect of our lives. Our focus here at the mansion is to learn lessons, whether it be current or, lessons from current events, whether it be local or global, and apply it to our lives. And also, while staying in the mix about technology and health in a cold, calculated, and ever so changing world, so envious ones. Welcome to the mansion and home of the anti-heroes. Today I have a show, of course. That's what you tuned into. But I have a show where we're getting ready to go down the rabbit hole a little bit. Because I have the main topic of the show. Of course, we have 3 topics today, but the main topic is going to be the first one that we go into, which is going to be talking about this Codi Biggby story and how it's been 100 days since this young man has been missing, and nobody's been able to locate, I'm going to assume, his remains, which is sick. I've been wanting to talk about this and do this story for quite some time, and now I'm actually gonna do it and sit down and go through this rabbit hole and give you what I think happened on this. I'm no homicide detective. I'm not forensic or anything of that nature, but I'm just gonna give you an idea of what I think has happened and give you another story that, one, is coming from the same area, and 2, sounds similar to what's happened in the Codi Biggby story. It's been way too long and nothing's been found. It's absolutely ridiculous. So to my core audience and the people, and to the envious ones, and everybody who knows how the show is constructed, at least how I do it by myself, we have our isms first, then we go into the word of the day, then we go into the first topic. Like I said, the first topic today, we will be talking about Corey Biggby and how it's out of hand. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm going to preference my summary, which I haven't gotten to yet because it's a summary. But I'm going to preference my summary and my opinion to that topic by saying, look, if you don't want to have kids, then you need to police your own genitals. You know what I mean? You need to control your own genitals. I mean, it's that simple, man. I'm not passing judgment. I'm not accusing anybody. I don't want these people to come looking for me. But I'm just saying, to the people who may or may not know any better, who may or may not be thinking about having some kids here in the soon future, near future. If you ain't ready to basically sit down and put your all into another human being, then you need to do better with your genitals. Straight up. Okay? Because this is ridiculous. 3-year-old boy didn't ask to be brought into this world. Didn't ask. Next topic after that will be first responders who suffer in silence with mental health, which I thought was interesting because, we never get their side of the story when emergencies happen and occur and things like that. We always get the victim side of the story, but we never hear from the actual first responders and what they go through and what they carry and the things of that nature. And I just like, you know what? This may be interesting to actually cover. And also, this is a very, very Virginia-fied show. The first topic takes place in Hampton. This one is coming from Richmond to us through WRIC. So very, very Virginiafied. And then the last topic, which will be in the science realm, we'll be talking about scientists reveal the first photo of our galaxy central black hole on Thursday. So as in the Milky Way, um, its black hole, and they're saying things along the lines of it's an invisible black hole, but they're sending pictures. But I get it because the black hole, the gravitational pull of it is so strong that you can't actually see the hole, but you can see the contents of what the black hole is pulling as it's swirling. And that will be our show. But first things first, gotta do some housekeeping and slide right into this isms. But I got my coffee, no cigarettes, no smokes. We don't do those no more. Day 18, no smokes. But man, yo, I've been like, I watch a lot of podcasts, things like that. I love it. I love what I do. I really like the people that I listen to, man. And like, some of these shows have some really good music behind it. Like, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, but his intro song was the shit. That shit always came on like boom, 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 and then they came in this moment. Yes. Hey, look, and that nigga's too funny, man. He would always, like, when he was really feeling himself, he would just come, he'd come on with that smooth, cool old nigga swag, just like, nigga, I can't really dance, but I'm cooling, I'm bobbing, like, man, that's a loss, man. That is a loss, man. That was the cool uncle right there, man. That was the cool uncle. That was a loss, man. But I always loved the Good Life song by um Vivanci, Vivandry, Vivantry. I believe that's how you say it, something like that. But I know that's how you spell it. Them Good Lives, man. Like, I mean, that's gonna tie right into the main ism. Good Lives, man. I'm really past the point of even wanting to entertain good lies. I just I'm at the point right now where I am constructing and laying the foundation for a life that I see fit for a person that I see myself and who I'm becoming to live. And I want to practice living that life now, which is a life of peace, a life of quiet, and a life of freedom. I want freedom. You know? And even though at one point I did enjoy the good lies that women told me, and even telling those good lies, selling that just it doesn't appeal to me anymore. It doesn't do anything for me anymore. It energy to me is like money in a bank. And I can choose to spend it. I can choose not to spend it. But there are some things that I do have to use my energy on. And I choose not to spend a whole lot of energy on women. Because they're just not that important. I've been getting women all my life. I've been I've been dicking them 304s to sleep all my life. I done got bad ones. I done been laid up with ugly ones. I done played bad ones. I done got played by ugly ones. Most people, maybe they can't say that they have that experience, but I do. So it's other things in this life that I want. And I understand that women are just a byproduct of my successes, my accomplishments, my achievements. And I'm okay with that. That's one of the things that I can appreciate the creator for doing, is making them a byproduct of your accomplishments and your achievements. And then making achievements and successes and accomplishments, especially on a big level, when you were put here to be somebody who was meant to accomplish something on a large scale, something bigger than you, then that prize is fitting for what your mission and your potential accomplishment could be. So, at this point, why even spend the money, the energy, the attention, and time on below average women when you can go out there, do what you were put on this planet to do, accomplish that, set some more goals, accomplish that, and along the way, slay these 304s to sleep. It it does not make sense in my mind to spend that much time on these women. It doesn't. But I do want to say though, before I slide back into that, I just want to throw this out there. If slavery was a choice and the truth set you free, then why do people hate the truth and the people who tell it? I'm just saying. Something to think about. But going back into what I was just saying, that was really leading me into um a story. So I was out one time at a bar around Norfolk, hanging with a older lady or whatever, and I mean we were shit faced. We were shit faced. And I mean, we're at the point where we just getting ready to fucking rape each other in the bar, which is always fun. It's always fun. It's always a good time when that happens. And at this point, I'm pretty much seeing ones, twos, and threes of everything that's going on. So she's sitting directly in front of me. I'm sitting in front of her. She's got one leg in between my legs. Every time she's talking to me, she's like putting her hand on the back of my neck and shit. I'm just like, bitch. It's all good though. And like the conversation is intense. Cause she's taking me everywhere. Telling me about childhood traumas and things like that, and how when she was a kid, had issues with older men touching on her and stuff like that, but really it was a two-way street because she knew better, and she went along with it, but still trauma came from that. But the gist of where I'm trying to get to is like, I know how she gets down. One thing that I really picked up from her is, you know, She loves men. She loves having men around. So she always be saying like, yeah, I've had many loves, many loves. So when it got to this night in particular, she kept asking me like, or she was saying like, you know, I know you love me. I know you love me. Do you love me? I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, look, I'm fucked up, but I'm not too fucked up to see that you trying to fucking bully me in an arena that I don't even fucking play in. I don't play in a love game. I've had many loves too, but I don't play in that arena. I don't. Especially with people who I know I'm not. It's not ever gonna be like that. I don't even play like that. I don't play with people's emotions. But this person likes to play with people's emotions. I told her I love me. She's like, nah, 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 nah. You know you love me. I know you love me. I'm like, okay. If that's what you want to think, if that's what you want to believe, I already knew. I already know. I've been known how it is. Cold calculated world, man. It is what it is. But that just leads me into, man, it's just, if you ask me, it's manipulation in its purest form. Like, nah, bitch. Manipulation in its purest form. Love don't do shit for me. It don't. It's loyalty for me. It's loyalty and respect. That's the closest thing to love. To me, that is love. Respect and loyalty. That is love. But I just wanted to go through some lyrics real quick before I really get into the show. These lyrics come to us through a gentleman named Xavier Omar. Y'all should go check him out. He is an R&B singer. And this song is called If This Is Love. If this is love, I don't want it. And he says, you need to speak to me better. Or should I sing it? You need to speak to me better. Trying to hide the truth. You've got all these expectations, but they don't apply to you. I'm not here for it. I don't want that for myself. I could be doing well on my own now. Now, you say, hold me tight. Don't let go. Ease my mind. Keep me close. And then he says, you're so subjective. This don't reflect what you give me. If this is love, I don't want it. I don't need it. I could live without it. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel about a lot of the women that I've dealt with in the last couple years. If this is your version of what you believe to be love, I don't want it. I don't need it. Matter of fact, I could be doing better on my own. Matter of fact, I am doing better on my own. I don't need your love. That's what you believe you may need. Most of y'all don't even know what love is. And to the ones who do know what love is, but they've been around the block 56 different times to maybe my 24 times of being around the block. And you try to throw love in there, it's just disingenuous. We can smell the bullshit miles away. Why play like that, man? You're muddying up the game board. You're muddying up the ocean of fish, the school of fish, whatever the hell you want to call it. You're muddying it up by putting shit out there like that to people, trying to manipulate people. You know, all that tells me is that you're used to dealing with weak motherfuckers who just go along with the horse shit that you try to put out there. But I'm just not here for the shit no more. One more time, I'm gonna go through the song lyrics from my man, Mr. Xavier Omar from the song If This Is Love. He said, you need to speak to me better, trying to hide the truth. You got all these expectations, but they don't apply to you. I'm not here for it. I don't want that for myself. I could be doing well on my own now. Now, you say, baby, hold me tight. Don't let go. Ease my mind, take it back. Hold me tight. Don't let go. Ease my mind. Keep me close. You're so subjective. This don't reflect what you give me. If this is love, I don't want it. I don't need it. I could live without it. If this is love, I don't want it. I don't need it. I could live without it. So I just say to all the people out there in the world, especially the envious ones who listen to this program and actually get something out of it, if it's not what you want and it's not up to your standards, within reason, don't accept that. Do not accept that. I'll end it by saying I really couldn't believe the audacity of this person. But once I started to pay more attention to the things that came out of her mouth, I said, it makes sense. Once I started to run conversations back through my head, I said, you know what? It makes sense. So I just need to deal with this person and other people accordingly. Straight up. Forcing someone to say they love you when they don't love you and they know you don't love them, I believe is manipulation in its purest form. And miss me with it. Miss me with that. It ain't right. It's not right. So let me pull up my articles, but today, first of all, somebody in this Codi Biggby case needs to get the right arm of the Fresh Prince, because there are a whole lot of questions and not enough answers, and things don't make sense. How has this kid been missing for this long, and we still don't have any answers? What's going on? What is really going on? I know for a fact that somebody in Hampton City is tapping. They tapping around fast. Matter of fact, somebody in Hampton, this is what they doing.
Bloviate.
They are bloviating. What does bloviate mean? Bloviate is a verb. It means to speak or write verbosely and windily. Bloviate. They like to exaggerate. That's what bloviate means. That's a synonym for bloviate. Let's look at the entry.
Bloviate.
Bloviating. I wanted to look at synonyms for bloviate. Um, let's see. I'm already here. All right. The columnist tends to bloviate on topics about which he is not particularly knowledgeable. Bloviate. That's what I believe people in Hampton are doing about this case on Codi Biggby. If you don't know what's going on, just say that. All right, let's get to it. Where is Codi Biggby? It has been 100 days since the 4-year-old has been reported missing. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. Let me get my together. Cool. Hopefully y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? Yeah, y'all can see that. All right, cool. Let's get it. He was reported missing from his home off of Old Buck Road in Hampton on Tuesday at 2 p.m. 10 on your sides. Aisha Tolliver and John Downing hosted a Q&A Facebook Live on the Wavy TV 10 Facebook page. These two Wavy reporters have covered this case since Codi was first reported missing. And if you go on this particular website, you can go back and watch the replay at that link. Which I don't know if I can do that, so I won't. Codi's father, Corey Biggby, is still in jail. Corey first reported his son missing on January 31st. Originally, he told police he last saw his son at 2 a.m. that day. Then, he reported him missing around 9 a.m. Hampton police launched a search near the Biggby home. Police did not issue an Amber Alert, because they did not believe Codi was abducted. For weeks, volunteers searched the woods near the family home. Many still pray for answers, concerned for the child's safety. Shit whack, man. That's hella whack. That's irresponsible. Like, a 4-year-old kid missing for 100 days. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't see anything good coming out of this. So I think at this point, the family has probably pretty much already accepted that he's not gonna come back alive. But finding the remains may bring some type of closure, and also the individual who did this, who was probably the father. That's just my speculation. That would probably bring the family some type of closure, man. That's uncalled for, man. If you didn't want to have kids, you shouldn't have had the kids. You should police your own Johnson better. Do better. Cause now you ain't getting no freedom. No freedom. During the search and interrogation, police say Corey admitted to leaving his young children at home alone to run errands. So he had children. As a result, he was charged with 7 felony child neglect charges. Corey has been denied bond twice. What's this? When did this come out? Okay, well, we'll read that next. Although police have named Corey a person of interest in his son's disappearance, he has not been formally charged in connection with his disappearance. Police Chief Mark Talbot later announced Corey was denied an attorney when he asked for one. The lead investigator was removed from the case citing possible mishandling. Yeah, bro. Come on, man. You can't do that. Bruh. He was denied an attorney? Come on, bruh. The lead investigator was removed from the case citing possible mishandling? Goodness, bruh, come on, man. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Y'all dropping, bruh, corrupt. Now Corey has a new attorney, Amina Matheny Willard. What was this? Let's see. May 2nd. So we'll go to issued a cease and desist. Court documents show Corey fired his last one. Okay. I think this might be the same article. Aisha, yep. Or Asia. That's Aisha. Alright, so. Issued a cease and desist order for the police chief and city attorney. This order says city leaders made comments that led to the Biggby's family being harassed. The search continues. Kay Coleman is a Hampton mother and one of the many community members who wanted to help share Cody's story to bring him home. This has become our kid. This is the community's child, she said. I felt like if nobody else is giving him a voice, then it's up to us as a community to give him a voice. So that's when I stepped up and really took a bigger role. Coleman started a Facebook group called Where's Codi Biggby, Hampton, Virginia. She also started a grassroots group called Hear Their Voices to give a voice to other missing children. Like our flyers and everything we do, we pay for or our group has helped us pay for. And our group is probably 40 people that's really helped us, she said. Dozens of people came out during the first 2 weeks to aid in the search efforts. Now those massive groups have died down, but Coleman says there's no reason to stop searching. For those wanting to help, Coleman says there's one simple thing you can do. Keep his name out there. I always say his name, or say Codi Biggby. He's still out there. Reach one, teach one. For every person you reach, they reach someone else, she said. You can click on our Facebook groups. Hear their voices right here. So they're setting up meetings with city councilmen, and it's sad, man. It's really sad. All right, let's lower the rope down a little further. All right, Corey Biggby's attorney files motion to clarify why previous attorney was fired. Shortly after sending a cease and desist notice to Hampton officials On behalf of missing 4-year-old Cody Bigsby's family, attorney Amina Matheny Willard also filed a motion to clarify for client Corey Bigsby in his criminal case. Bigsby's previous attorney, Jeffrey Ambrose, filed the motion to withdraw from the case in April, which was granted by Judge Gregory Bain. Attorney Jeffrey Ambrose told 10 on Your Side he didn't want there to be any misunderstanding about his withdrawal. Ambrose said it is not based on any sort of confession by Corey Bigsby, contrary to rumors on social media. Matheny Willard now wants to clarify to the court why Ambrose withdrew. Court documents obtained by 10 on Your Side say on April 7, 2022, Bigsby told Ambrose, "You're fired," and that he wanted to hire a new counsel. Though paperwork says Ambrose cited an ethical conflict as the basis for his withdrawal. Matheny Willard explains in documents the way in which Ambrose withdrew led to community-wide speculation that the ethical conflict indicated some sort of evidence or guilt. Paperwork then states Ambrose's attempt to comment to local media that it had nothing to do with any type of confession was too little too late and that the damage had already been done. Cody Bigsby was reported missing the morning of January 31st. His father, Corey Bigsby, is facing 7 counts of child neglect, which are not directly related to Cody's disappearance, police said. He remains behind bars on no bond on those charges and is due back in court on June 13th for a preliminary hearing. What does that sound like? The first attorney hold on. Should I read this one first and then piece it together? Yeah, let's go into this. Cause then I may not even need to go through these other articles, but I'll still go through them. Cody Bigsby's, so that last article, that was published May 2nd. The first article was published May 10th. So now we're going to go to the article posted April 5th, which was a month ago. Hampton Commonwealth's attorney, Cody is still missing, but presumed to be deceased. So that's what Jeffrey Ambrose is saying. Yep. The father of missing Hampton 4-year-old Cody Bigsby appeared in Hampton Circuit Court on Tuesday morning, where he was denied bond a second time. Corey Bigsby faces 7 counts of felony child neglect, not directly related to Cody's disappearance. His attorney requested another bond hearing after Hampton Police Chief Mark Talbot admitted the lead detective in the case denied Bigsby the right to an attorney. The lead detective? Who was the lead detective? Because that's messy. The lead detective. Defense attorney. Okay. So that was the first attorney for Bigsby. Lead detective. Okay. So yeah, we will need to go into this. It's a freaking mess. It's a freaking mess. This is where the case gets murky. It was already off the rails, but this is where it went off the rails and shit went off the highway. Goodness gracious. There are two things a judge considers at a bond hearing: if the person is a flight risk and if they are a threat to the community. So for us who don't exactly remember what a flight risk is, let's check that out. Flight risk definition. Someone who has been accused of crime and is considered likely to try to escape out of the country or area before the trial begins. Judge Savage, who was a substitute judge for Tuesday's hearing after Hampton Circuit Court judges were rescued from the child neglect case. Shit just keeps going. Decided Biggby was both. Goodness gracious. Two key factors when making that decision came down to a prior assault allegation against Biggby and an AWOL conviction in the U.S. Army years ago. Court testified the AWOL incident was a miscommunication after he left for a 4-day weekend. However, Commonwealth's attorney Anton Bell says a military investigation report revealed he was actually missing for 3 weeks. Bell says he was supposed to be in Germany during that time but was in New Jersey instead. Sick. Come on, man. Police say Biggby is the main person of interest in the disappearance of his son, Codi. The judge also noted that fact in court. Defense attorney Jeffrey Ambrose went into great detail about the Hampton Police Division's mishandling of the case. He read a minute-by-minute synopsis of the interrogation period. Ambrose said Biggby was questioned for 76 hours in total, and 62 hours of that was after he'd asked for an attorney. In fact, he says, Biggby said some variation of he was tired and wanted to leave over 25 times. 10 on your side asked Ambrose if he saw Biggby as a flight risk and threat to the community. No, absolutely not. We disagree with that assertion, Ambrose stated. A woman who identified herself as Biggby's aunt spoke with Wavy News as she left the courthouse. I raised him. Look, all I'm going to say is, I ain't even going to say it. I raised him. I know he's innocent. He's done nothing wrong. A man goes to serve his country for 20-something years and go home and be treated like this. It's wrong, and I don't like it, she said. In court, Bell alluded to more charges for Biggby. He also said for the first time, Codi is still missing, but presumed to be deceased, which I believe is the case. I just want to know how many other kids he has. That's what I really want to know. How many more kids do you have? It's just out of control, man. It's absolutely out of control. Bell told 10 on your side he agrees with the judge's decision to keep Biggby in jail. Codi was reported missing over 2 months ago on January 31st. His dad is the only person of interest in the case. Community volunteers still meet to look for the 4-year-old. Biggby's preliminary hearing is scheduled for June 13th. What do you guys think? Let's see. We're going to read them in the order that they came out. You see this? So this is the timeline right here. If I can open this up or will it go any? There we go. This is interesting. Hmm. All right, so let's roll through this. All right, so as we already know, 31st. Where did it say? All right, so on the 31st of January, he told police he last saw his son at 2 a.m. that day, and then reported him missing around 9 a.m. So he called that in. Okay. Where is it? All right. So apparently, he took a polygraph. Then police were searching near his crib, his house, and the FBI became involved. Now, when police were spotted near the house, searching the dumpsters and trash, they said, "We're going to search everywhere. We're not searching dumpsters because we believe he's there. We're searching dumpsters because he could be there." So, polygraph. He asked for an attorney on the 1st of February. Wavy 10 uncovers court records. So this is where I was getting ready to get into this portion of it. Yeah. So this shit was. I'm gonna read into this. Uh, Wavy 10, TV 10 uncovers court records. Investigators discover court records that show Corey Biggby was charged with assaulting Cody's mother in 2018. The court records show that Cody's mother told police Biggby bit, choked, and threatened to kill her. The charges were set aside when Cody's mother refused to cooperate and failed to appear in court multiple times because she was scared. So we're gonna read about the mishandling, and then we're gonna talk about the past allegations, and then go back to the timeline. Chief says Cody Biggby's case was mishandled. Search continues with immense amount of evidence. As the search continues for missing Hampton 4-year-old Cody Biggby after he was reported missing 2 weeks ago, Hampton police, so 2 weeks ago, so this, yeah. Anyways, Hampton Police Chief Mark Talbot revealed on Monday that his department mishandled the case by not honoring Cody's father's request for legal representation. That's where the fuck up happened. So if this case gets thrown out, it's on the police's fault because y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up. Come on, man. Talbot says Corey Biggby, who was being questioned at the police department after reporting Cody missing the morning of January 31st, ultimately made a confession in the early morning hours of February 1 following a polygraph test and a heated exchange with the lead detective hours into the interrogation process. Talbot says Bigsby originally waived his right to an attorney, but made a statement about wanting legal counsel in a follow-up interview. His desires should have been honored. They weren't, Talbot said. The detective that violated procedure was relieved of his duties and placed on paid leave after Talbot was tipped about the issue on Friday. Talbot, however, said that the 7 felony child neglect charges, which are not directly related to Codi's disappearance, are sound and based on evidence gathered in the first hours of interrogation. I'm disappointed that we have done everything that may have slowed us down on our quest to bring justice to this child, Talbot said. That will be handled appropriately. Anybody that didn't live up to the standards that are important to us will be held accountable. Talbot said a new detective will take over the case and the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office will review the matter. Talbot continued to emphasize that he believes those charges are appropriate based on the facts his department has, especially after an audit of roughly 100 hours in interrogation videos. A video was reviewed in a Herculean task over the weekend, whatever the fuck that means. Fucking weirdos. The most important thing here is Mr. Bigsby is in jail appropriately, based on facts and evidence that were obtained lawfully? Question mark. Absolutely. Talbot said. Absolutely, there's no question. Based on the thorough audit that we've done, I'm more certain than I was when I spoke about it previously. He's in a jail cell for appropriate reasons, and we learned that in an appropriate investigation. Sergeant Reggie Williams with Hampton Police also said on Monday that there's still an immense amount of evidence authorities are looking through. Talbot says he still believes his department is still capable of handling the case going forward and that the search for Codi will continue. This is all of our obligation. We're all here for Codi Bigsby. I don't know if those efforts will be fruitful, but what do? Do you sit and do nothing? I don't think so, Talbot said. Commonwealth's attorney, Antoine Bell, said he's aware of the situation and his team is investigating everything. He says they will be in possession of all the interview tapes soon and will review them thoroughly. So, they've already done that. Jeffrey Ambrose on Tuesday, he said it's a substantial civil rights violation and there are several remedies he could ask for. He explained some of those could include suppression of evidence or a change of venue request. He anticipates the case mishandling will come up at Bigsby's bond hearing next Friday. Ambrose said this issue raises a ton of legal questions he's looking into as he goes through the tapes and other materials. He said, nothing is off the table at this point. Yeah, if they wouldn't have mishandled that shit, I mean, they still got leverage because, as we already know, this dude can't keep his hands off of people. He went AWOL while he was in the military. So, what do they say? Past trends predict future events, or current events predict future trends. Either or. You know what the fuck I'm saying. And the dude's been a deviant. That's what his patterns say. That's how he gets down. He's been a deviant. He's kind of, he'll go rogue on your ass. Excuse me. He will go rogue on you. Like they said, he's a flight risk. Once a defendant asks for an attorney, there's not supposed to be any more questions. If he continues to question him and he gets information, that information is excluded and can't be used in prosecution of the individual, says Stallings. Butch, rookie mistake. Stallings stated the lead detective in question likely won't face any criminal charges for his mistake. Potentially, he could sue him for violating his constitutional rights, But we really don't see that for a lot of reasons. One, if the evidence doesn't come in at a trial, he really hasn't been damaged. There's no real damage. So there's really no civil punishment or criminal punishment to the detective if it's just what the department would do for violating that procedure, said Stallings. On Monday night, Hampton Branch NAACP President Galen K. released a statement about the Hampton Police Division's error. Innocent or guilty, every citizen is entitled to due process. Yeah, they just said they got that. They didn't need y'all to come and butt in. They understand that. They already suspended dude over that, man. They suspended dude over that. Like, see, okay. HPD must conduct a thorough internal investigation and ensure that any officer who didn't follow proper procedure or assisted in covering up the issue is properly disciplined immediately. So, y'all trying to come in here and say it's a setup. I don't think it's a setup. I just think dude is a fuck up. As in, Cody's dad, I think is a fuck up. And he fucked up big time and got caught this time. He owned up to it. He put it out there. And that's what a police chief should be doing all the time. If there's an error, you own up to it. And you go to the public and let them know that. But also look internally and do research. Don't think everything is always right. So that lets me know he's very particular. If anything has changed in the search for Codi, specifically, is it now a recovery mission? Yeah. A Hampton police official says, as of now, nothing has changed from their prior statements. On Saturday, a child's jacket and tire marks were spotted near the home in the Buckrow area where Codi was last seen. Police and forensics show up and process the item, though it was unclear if the jacket belongs to Codi or another child in the area. During the news conference Monday, Talbot said investigators do not believe bones found recently near Kickingham Road related to Codi's disappearance. Williams later confirmed there were 2 calls about remains found in the area in the past 2 days, but both were confirmed to not be human. Police on Thursday sent out a tweet that asked for information from anybody who had seen Codi in the past 3 months, which goes back to mid-November. Sheesh. Police previously asked for information from anyone who had seen Codi since Christmas. Oh, he's been missing since 2021. Oh, my. Are you serious? Are you serious? He's been missing for quite some time. Why does it keep saying January 31st if he's been missing longer than that? For anyone who has seen in the past, which goes back to mid-November, police previously asked for information from anyone who had seen Codi since Christmas. Police also said anyone who has home cameras near Buckrow Point apartments to come forward. Meanwhile, there's a growing tribute near the Buckrow Point neighborhood, which volunteers calling the area where the Hampton Police Division's command center once stood, Camp Codi. There are balloons, flowers, and a Valentine's Day box lining the fence to the soccer fields. Someone also placed a plastic tarp over the items to protect them from the winter weather. Let's see. Buckrow Point Apartments. Alright. I don't know when that paused, but I'm not going to play the video. I'm just going to skim through it. So this is basically an article going off of what the mother is saying. She's saying, I'm praying for the safe return of my baby boy. Codi's mother releases a public statement. So the 4-year-old's been missing, reported missing by the father to Hampton Police Division on January 31st. But the other article was saying that they had been looking for him since November. So now I'm confused. How long has it fucking been? real talk, how long has the kid been gone? Has it been longer than 100 days? Literally. You guys have been here reading this shit with me. I know I'm not fucking tripping. This shit, where? Police on Thursday sent out a tweet that asked for information for anyone who has seen Codi in the past 3 months, which goes back to mid-November. Previously asked for information from anyone who has seen Codi since Christmas. Police said anyone who has home cameras near Buckrow Point apartments to come forward. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? It's just all kinds of misinformation going on here. This says it's been 100 days since 4-year-old Codi Biggby was reported missing. What I just pulled up said they've been looking for him since mid-November of last year. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was half a year ago. You got officers who don't know how to process or interview suspects violating basic rights. You have attorneys resigning from the case. What the fuck's going on? Seriously, what the fuck is going on? This is all kinds of misinformation right here. Seriously, what the fuck's going on? This guy, he's out of control. So the other case that I stumbled upon that was similar to the Codi Biggby cases. I mean, there are thousands of cases just like this. It's so sick that somebody could do this to their own kid. But the other case is the case of Noah Tomlin. The Hampton Steam Plant was the same place where 2-year-old Noah Tomlin's body was found in July 2019. Hold on. Hold up. So they don't believe that Codi was abducted. There were other children in the house at the time of the disappearance. We don't know how many. The parents did live separately, clearly. All right. So the other case that's similar to the Biggby case that occurred out here, the Hampton Steam Plant was the same place where 2-year-old Noah Tomlin's body was found in July 2019. Like Cody's disappearance, Noah's mother, Julia Tomlin, reported her son missing on June 24th, 2019, telling the police that the boy vanished after she woke up in her Buck Road Beach mobile home sick. And he was nowhere to be found. Trash. Tomlin reportedly told police she had last seen the child when she put him in bed at around 1 a.m. the previous night. Same story as Corey. The toddler's remains were discovered 10 days later on July 3rd, 2019, stuffed in a cardboard Huggies box at the Hampton Steam Plant. Sheesh, man. Where is the Hampton Steam Plant? I believe it's downtown. So, if they live in Buck Row, I'm willing to bet it's this one. Nah, it's not that one. So it's gonna be this one. Actually, Google Earth. I'm gonna go to Google Earth. All right, so I don't know where the podcast stopped, but right now I'm looking up where the Hampton Steam Plant is. The last story I looked up was the Noah Tomlin story, which is it has similarities to the Codi Biggby story, and I'm looking up the Hampton Steam Plant where Tomlin's remains was found in a cardboard Huggy box because his mother was trash. Let's go in. So yeah, it's way out here. You know, it's a lot of rubbish and stuff out here. You know what I mean? And so that's where it is. And if y'all know anything about Hampton, VA, which, I mean, there ain't really shit out here. I mean, it is, but it ain't. You ain't missing shit. This is Buck Row right here. Okay. This is all Buck Row. Oh no, I'm lying. I'm telling bold-faced lies. This is Buck Row over here. Buck Row Beach right here. This is Buck Row. So you had to go out your motherfucking way to where is it? To get to that steam plant. Because I know the other one that's up here is at HU. I know they didn't go to that one. They didn't go to that. So I think we pretty much beat this story up. I don't think it's really too much to go through. Since I did bring up the Tomlin story, then I'll finish that one up and then roll right into the next one. Law enforcement authorities said the body was in an advanced state of decomposition, but it was clear that the baby had suffered horrific and severe injuries. Tomlin pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and other charges related to her son's death last December. Man, sick people out here, man. Come on, man. They said what? They said Tomlin. Noah Tomlin's mom, Julia Tomlin, reported her son missing on the 24th. Said the boy vanished after she woke up in her Buckrow Beach mobile home. Ain't shit. She ain't shit. She ain't a motherfucking thing. You did that shit because you ain't want to take care of that kid. You ain't shit. What's the fucking point of having kids if you just gonna abuse the shit out of them? If you're not gonna boss up and handle that, what's the fucking point? That's why I don't want kids. The shit, I'm not about to be abusing no kids. Hell no. I don't care how mad they make me. Man, it's never that serious. It's not that serious. It's not. Come on, man. Hey, come on. No sense whatsoever. Makes no sense. Let's see. What? This is the I don't even need to go through this, man. Do they give any he died from multiple blunt force trauma and injuries. That child was tortured. Come on, man. Unlawful disposal of a deceased person. What? Oh my gosh. Hold up. Noah was missing for more than a week before his body was discovered in a steam plant by the Hampton Police Department on July 3rd. Over 10, that's just saying how many hours they put in to look for him. And they dug through 2 million pounds of trash before they found his body. Goodness gracious. Bill said they know how the child's body ended up in the steam plant, but they are not releasing that information. Yeah, she put him in the trash, and they dumped him. Tomlin will face the new charges in addition to the previous ones. Bell said Tomlin also faces child abuse charges relating to the other 2 children in her home. Oh my God. She has other kids? Are you serious? Ages 8 months and 3 years old? What? Oh my gosh, man. Come on, man. Yo, look. I have to get real. I have to get somewhat real. Like, I understand my uncles, like, man, like my uncles, like Jason Whitlock, are Fearless, and like so many other people. And like, abortion is the worst thing. Like, I'm pro-abortion up to a certain extent. Some people just don't need to have kids. Like I get it. Abortion has absolutely fucked the black community. But people like this, like Julia Tomlin, people like Corey Bigsby, them kids should have been aborted. Shot on the floor in a napkin. Cause look what they doing. And this just gets even more stressful. We're just finding out who the biological father is, Bill said. They used DNA to gather this information. Bill confirmed Julia Tomlins is the only person facing charges in this case. Bill said he knows someone helped her dispose of the child's body. What they are working to determine now is intent. Whether or not the person knew the body was in the bag when it happened. Bell says Noah's left leg and liver were the only recognizable parts found at the steam plant. What in the... In fact, the body was so badly decomposed at that point, they also called in an anthropologist to assist with the autopsy. Bell says the autopsy revealed Noah died from blunt head trauma and battered child syndrome. Child abuse or child maltreatment is physical, sexual, and psychological maltreatment or neglect of a child. Oh, that's just child abuse. Diagnosis of battered child syndrome requires a high index of suspicion. Can be seen in infants through adolescence, but is most common in children younger than 3 years. Children with this syndrome are brought to medical attention for an unrelated problem or in the setting of a particular acute injury. When evaluated, they are noted to have signs of chronic abuse, which may include poor hygiene, malnutrition, growth restriction, multiple cuts, bruises of different ages, pattern injuries, burn marks, and skeletal injuries at different stages of healing. Man, they been abusing that little baby. I'm telling you, man, they don't give shit. Shit. Doing this shit just fucks me up, man. It this fucks me up, yo. This fucks me up, man. This fucks me up because, like me, I'm adopted, and I was never abused. Like shit, them ass whippings I got from Miss Warren back in Suffolk, that shit was not abuse. That was cause I was a fucking asshole, and I did what I won't supposed to do. Man, look, it makes absolutely no fucking sense. I'm really speechless. I really am. Let me just finish. Let me go. Let me finish what I started. I'm just really fucking speechless, man. That what brings people to this point to even want to damage something that they created? Where does this hate come from? How does a person even get to this point where they want to cause harm over an extended period of time to a baby? Like this says. This is stages. What? Battered child syndrome describes non-accidental trauma to children, representing a major cause of morbidity and mortality during childhood. The abuse usually is inflicted by boyfriends, step parents, babysitters, and other responsible for the child's care. Abuse is more common among stepchildren, handicapped, and firstborn children. Most victims are younger than 2 years of age, with a reported average age of 16 months. Although uncommon, the presence of multiple fractures in various stages of healing is a classic radiographic presentation of battered child syndrome. Fractures of the skull, spinous processes, scapula, posterior ribs, and sternum raises suspicion of abuse. Metaphyseal corner fractures, secondary to twisting action of the distal limbs, and however you say that, of the metaphysical actual rim that overlies the lucent appearing as the bucket handle fracture. I don't know how to say most of that. This is getting more into actual things, but what I should have went back over here. Look, if you couldn't handle it, you should have never had kids. I mean, it's just that simple. You should have never had the kids to begin with. If you couldn't handle the job, shit's just, man, it's sick. It's really sick, man. It's really sick. Bell says the autopsy revealed Noah died from blunt. Yeah. He says the anthropologist was able to piece this skull together to find out he ultimately died from two fractures. However, there were other chronic battering injuries like a bruised left leg and fractured jaw and ribs. This shit's tearing me up, man. This shit is tearing me up. Fuck. The type of injury this child suffered was the same as if a child had fallen several stories from a building. So this injury was not only severe, but just horrific. Bell says Julia Tomlin had a prior child neglect conviction in Newport News about 2 years ago. Come on, man. He says they will hold her accountable for her son's death. Is she a danger to children? Abso-fucking-lutely. Was she in risk to be in a caretaker role of the children? Abso-fucking-lutely. No questions. So do I feel the ball was dropped? Sure. It's not my place to say, but clearly she shouldn't have been in the caretaker position for anyone's child. Yeah, she can't babysit any of my friends' kids. Bell says Julia Tomlin will be arraigned within the whatever, man. She's a piece of shit. My goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Oh, look, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that. That threw me. That definitely threw me for a loop. Especially the Noah Tomlin story, and when the anthropologist came and put the skull back together, basically put Noah back together, and how they couldn't even identify him because of how decomposed he was. That shit's fucking me up. And this topic is not any better. But you know what? We're gonna lower the rope further down the rabbit hole. Man, that fucked me up for real. That fucked me up. We gonna let her talk to us.
Retired officer who sought help years after a tragedy changed his life and took another.
I relive May 4th over and over and over again.
May 4th, 2006, a day that ended with one name etched in stone.
He's a hero.
And for retired officer Joseph Diamond, scars that still bring back painful scenes.
A lot of our servicemen and women experience PTSD after they come home or they're no longer on the force or while they're even on the force. So if you have any of those people who are your friends, your family, associates, constituents, colleagues, associates, things of that nature, and you see them tweak or something like that, or if they're even comfortable enough talking to you about that, just check up on them. Make sure they're good. We're gonna dig into this one a little bit.
I'll be thinking about Gary. I'll be thinking about the gunshot. I'll be thinking about the smell of gunpowder. I'll be thinking about things that happened 16 years ago, but to me, it feels like it just happened yesterday.
After seeing his partner, Chesterfield police officer Gary Bureau, killed on scene, Diamond says he went back.
Matter of fact, I don't want this episode to run too long. I'm gonna go to straight to the science topic, and I'll cover this one in the next episode. I don't want this to run too long. All right. Scientists reveal first image of black hole at the center of our galaxy. Astronomers from the Event Horizon Telescope (EHT) collaboration have today revealed the first image of the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, produced using a network of radio telescopes around the world. The EHTC was formed in 2015 and essentially linked together existing radio telescopes from around the globe to form a powerful single observatory. Interesting. The combined efforts of ALMA and APEX in Chile, IRAM in Spain, the South Pole Telescope, the LMT in Mexico, and the JCMT, SMA, and SMT in the U.S. resulted in the first observations being made in April 2017 with data and analyzed using dedicated supercomputers at the Max Planck Institute for Radio Astronomy in Germany and the Haystack Observatory in Haystack. The first decent images of a black hole, let's see what that says. Still that shit. That's not good enough for me. But I got you. The first direct images of a black hole at the center of the Messier 87 galaxy were subsequently released 2 years later. Closely following black hole features predicted in Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity and potentially proven the existence of event horizon features theorized around black holes. And potentially proven the existence of event horizon features. I don't exactly know what that is. The HTC has added more observatories to the race since then, and the French Alps, Greenland, and the U.S., and has undertaken further observation campaigns in 2018, 2021, and this year. The HT research team, which is made up of more than 300 researchers from around the world, says that it's long been suspected that there's a black hole at the center of our galaxy, and now the first image of that massive object has been revealed. The image of Sagittarius A shows a ring of glowing gas surrounding a dark central region or shadow and captures light bent by the object's immense gravity. Plus, it's reported to be the first direct visual evidence that Sagittarius A is indeed a black hole. So, sun. Hold up. So, Sagittarius A is just big as fuck. So that black hole's right there. And this is our black hole right here. Pluto's in that orbit. So our solar system is inside of this black hole. The images comes from observations of Sagittarius A, made over multiple nights in 2017 by the 8 radio telescopes of the original EHT configuration, and is notably similar to the image of the M87 black hole released in 2019 through Sagittarius A. Is reckoned to be 1,000 times smaller and less massive, as in this is what this figure is showing or telling us right here, that this is M87 and this is Sagittarius A, and that circle right there represents this and where we are and how massive that is and how small that is in contrast to that. We have two completely different types of galaxies and two very different black hole masses, but close to the edge of these black holes, they look amazingly similar. All right. Let's look at this. Event horizon. Let's see what they talking about. All right. We got sources. We don't have too many sources here. Actually, we do got some sources. All right. Let's look. Let's look. All right. Astrophysics, an event horizon is a boundary beyond which events cannot affect an observer. Wolfgang Rendler coined the term in the 50s. Singularity. An event horizon is a boundary, I just read that. In 1784, John Mitchell proposed that gravity can be strong enough in the vicinity of a massive compact objects that even light cannot escape. At that time, the Newtonian theory of gravitation and the so-called corpuscular theory of light were dominant. In these theories, if the escape velocity of the gravitational influence of a massive object exceeds the speed of light, then light originating inside or from it can escape temporarily but will return. In 1958, David Finkelstein used general relativity to introduce a stricter definition of a local black hole event horizon as a boundary beyond which events of any kind cannot affect an outside observer, leading to information and firewall paradoxes, encouraging the re-examination of the concept of local event horizons and notions. Where is it? Notion of black holes. Several theories were subsequently developed, some with and some without event horizons. One of the leading developers of theories to describe black holes, Stephen Hawking, suggested that an apparent horizon, an apparent horizon is a surface that is the boundary between light rays that are directed outwards and moving outward. Outwards, and those directed outward but moving inward. Should be used instead of an event horizon, saying gravitational collapse produces apparent horizons but no event horizons. He eventually concluded that the absence of event horizons means that there are no black holes in the sense of regimes from which light cannot escape to infinity. Shit's confusing. I'm just gonna say that right now. This shit's confusing. check out some of these images, man. I mean, just the ideas that they have. And what they believe it to look like, man, it's amazing. It really is. I've always had an affection, somewhat of a lust for space. I've always had a thing for it. I mean, since I was a young kid. And now that I'm older, a lot of things are starting to make its way back around. But, ladies and gentlemen, man, it's been one hell of a show. Man, this has been, this today has been a ride. That first topic took me. So, let's go back through it. The isms. If slavery was a choice and the truth set you free, a lot of people hate the truth and people who tell it. Questions for the day. Questions that need motherfucking answers. And I think that people who force you to say that they love you when there is no love on that level being expressed, the deepest love that there may be is friendship type of love. Anybody who tries to coerce you into or force you into making it feel like you should be loving them on some deep level, like, I don't know, making you feel like you gotta do extra. Nah, man. Go ahead. We got time for that, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit's borderline terroristic. Borderline. That's manipulation in its pure raw form. Nobody got time for that, man. Go ahead. That's isms. You know what I'm saying? Forcing someone to say they love you when they don't love you and they know that you don't love them, I believe is manipulation in its purest form, and that admittedly, and dig that hoe to sleep. Because you can do good, bad, and different by yourself. By y'all. Leave me alone. Alright. Then the main topic, which I've been wanting to get into for so long, is the Codi Biggby story. Because I mean, everywhere that I've gone in the 757, I have seen these billboards. Everywhere. Where is it? And if you ask me, he's no longer with us. I don't want to be that guy to say that and bring that kind of news, but I don't believe that he's with us. I believe that this young man was brought into this world not by his own choice and by way of irresponsible people. More so maybe the father. Could it be mental health? Could be. Possibly. He was in there was a history that the father was deviant. And it didn't even bring up the man's childhood. We didn't even need to go that far. You served 20 years in the military. You go AWOL, which is absent without leave. It's supposed to be a quote-unquote break, but you say you leave for 4 days, but the court records determined that was a lie. You left for 3 weeks. You have a track history of lying by omission. Well, no, that was just straight out lie. You have a history of putting your hands on people, whether you were provoked or not. You have a history of putting your hands on women, whether she's a woman who walks around with big dick energy or not. Yeah, hey, best believe, bro. I've been black all my life, and most of those women who got that big dick energy, they want to open their legs up and let me slide my dick in the vagina. But prior, they want to beat me the fuck up. I was trying to be funny, but it's not funny. But with that being said, I'm just saying, whether you're provoked or not, there's still no fucking reason to put your hands on a woman unless you swinging on you, pulled out a gun, knife, which in this case, that happened. But what happened before that? And then the other points that the case was mishandled by the one prosecutor, or excuse me, not prosecutor, but detective, who didn't honor the man's rights when he asked for a lawyer the second time. The first time, he said he didn't want a lawyer once he was being questioned. The initial time, this is all within the first initial sitting down and investigation. He didn't want a lawyer at first, but then he asked for a lawyer because they had a heated exchange, and as a result of that threw the case off. There's, if you ask me, they know what's up. They know who did this. I know who did this, or I have a good suspicion, just off of the facts that are provided here, who did it. Shit's unfortunate, man. It shouldn't have to go. Look, if this keeps going, this could be, if it's not already, a national story. HPD, get a handle on this shit. Like, close this shit up quickly. This shit could get ugly. Handle this shit. People out there, if I know you and you do your kids or people like this, yo, stop fucking with me. Cause I'ma tell on your ass. If I find you, I'ma tell on your ass. Like I say about them motherfucking perverts who like to play with kids, you better leave them fucking kids alone. Leave them kids the fuck alone. Leave them kids the fuck alone. Fuck wrong with you? Just cause you ain't shit don't mean that you need to take it out on these motherfucking kids. Just cause you can't get no pussy, well, if you're gay. Just cause you can't get no butt don't mean that you need to go and fucking put that on a little kid who may not be gay. Or a kid that don't want to get violated. Just because you got violated don't mean that you need to go take that out on somebody else. That don't mean that you need to go over here and force some shit on a kid that has nothing to do with that. Now you're gonna go and rob this person of the human experience? No. It's never gonna fly with me. You gonna go over here and abuse this person because for whatever reason you can't handle it. Mental health, it's hard. I ain't got no money. Nobody likes me. I don't want to go to jail. I just hear just bullshit. If it was so hard, you shouldn't have the kids. You should have been thinking about that. And that's the shit I don't understand. Stop having fucking kids if you can't handle the shit. Like, this story almost broke me reading this shit. For real. It almost broke me. Okay. Now moving along. I know I said I was gonna do the story on the first responders, but I really didn't want to go too long. So last topic we talked about the EHT system, which is a system of highly superior advanced radio telescopes. It's a whole system of them. They're located in all places. Some in Spain, South Pole, Mexico, United States, and they all collectively have taken pictures of this massive black hole, which we have named Sagittarius A. So if you know any Sagittarius and they're toxic and they act like black holes, well, this is where they got it from. But anyways, it's just interesting. It's just things out the norm that you may or may not want to know. It's all cool. It's all good. But anyways, to end the show out, my name is Don. I'm the Senator of Smooth and Rule, coming to you live from the 75Y, because we global, baby. Hey, this is the Mansion in the Sky podcast, where we build the land while we drive it. Here at the mansion, we always try to become envious, which is unconquerable and influential in every single aspect of our lives. Here, we look and analyze local and global news and look to apply any type of lessons or extract information from every single thing that we look into, and we jump down the rabbit hole and we look to apply it to our lives. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys, and